level means a real commitment to the game. And when a husband and wife are both at the top of their field, it means a real challenge juggling schedules. For Mark Dacey and Heather Smith-Dacey, this is a curling year to remember. Both are representing Nova Scotia at the Nokia Brier here and at last week's Scott Tournament of Hearts. And as Linda Walker tells us tonight, they have another reason to be celebrating.
Mark Dacey is a familiar face for Saskatchewan curling fans, having grown up here and competing at one Brier in 1995 wearing the province's colours. His wife Heather just completed a hectic week competing at the Scott Tournament of Hearts. And now the Daceys have added another curler to their family, their 4-month-old son Ty, who already has his Team Nova Scotia jacket.
I guess Ty's sort of been a lucky charm for us. He arrived on October 29th, and nothing but good things in the curling have happened since then.
And having this little guy is always perspective over a tough loss. I found that in Red Deer. We'd come off a tough loss, and I'd look into his little eyes, and all of a sudden it was all okay. So it's perspective, I think, is big for us right now.
Having someone who knows the game also helps in knowing how to help the other get through some long, exhausting weeks trying to qualify for the national championships.
It's funny, Sherry Madaw and I were talking after her tough loss there in the semifinals, and I said, does Wayne say the right things to you? And she said, yeah, he really does, and I think that's what helps us both through these weeks. The first Scott I played at, Mark didn't come, and I really missed him there. And I said, the next ones, whenever I played another one, you're coming, because it's really, as a competitive curler, what to say and what not to say.
But to be at the top of any sport means commitment and playing a lot of games, which involves juggling as a family.
The support for each other, I think, is the biggest thing. We go to the rink to practice during the day, weekdays during the day, and I'll take Ty while Heather throws rocks, and then she comes off and I'll go throw and she watches Ty. So it's kind of a funny setup that we have. But the biggest thing is we both support each other 100%.
Arriving a few days before the rest of the curlers has given Mark and Heather a chance to introduce the Dacey family to Ty and a chance to relax before the Brier officially begins on Saturday. Linda Walker, Global News.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here at 10:30. Stand by now for Global National. Good night.
Dad? Will you please play ball with us?
No, not right now, son. I gotta finish painting. I put it off way too long already.
Come on.
Life's magic moments are waiting if you only try.
Son, let me show you how to swing that bat. Put that off too long, too.
To show them that you care with the time you take to share. So don't ever let the magic pass you by.
It's often life's small moments that bring the greatest memories. Don't let the magic pass you by.
Don't let the magic pass you by.
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
They let him out of the cage again. Harv Stewart is here courtesy of Q104, the home of rock and roll.
And it's Monday night. Welcome to Sportsland on Eastlink. Tonight we have a great show for you. We try to keep it full as possible, as usual. And we got Brad McCon back with us tonight, of course, whatever the hell he was doing last week. And we miss our friend Cecil, who is in...
What do you mean we miss our friend? He'll probably call in and he'll talk for hours tonight. He won't know anything about curling. He'll talk about baseball.
Yeah, you were doing your tournament last week. We'll get into that later. We got a very, very special guest tonight, though, a Canadian champion. We were talking about Mark Dacey, of course, winning the Brier recently. Mark's in with us tonight, and he's going to be a special guest co-host as well and weigh in on all the issues we've got going on tonight, and there's a pile of them.
Oh, I mean, sports is wild this time of the year, all the playoffs and things. Well, yeah, we mark the best of the best in curling now. Really, probably the toughest thing you've had to do in the last month is fill Cecil's shoes here tonight. But let's flash back 10 days and talk a little bit about this year's Brier. You were the top team right through the week and beating Furby in the round robin. Did you kind of want to get one loss to Furby out of the way before the final?
That was mentioned on numerous occasions by people, nobody on my team, but certainly people watching that were close to us said, you know, even had you won that 1-2 game against Furby, that would have meant you probably would have had to beat them 3 times straight, which is a tall order, but, you know. So as it turned out, it was great and worked out fine.
Well, I mean, you know, we know now that Furby can only beat you every second time anyway, so it's all strategy. That's the big thing about curling, strategy. You got to know when to win, know when to lose.
But you know what, Mark? You had a sense this time around, maybe not so much last year, but this time you guys seemed to be really in control of the whole week. You know, you had that loss against Furby, but well, you beat them first, and I mean, I think that gave them a statement, did it not? The first win in the round robin, and then you lost the playoff game, but it seemed like you really had control of your game all the way through the week.
Yeah, like obviously the reporters kind of kept harping on the fact that they had a huge winning streak going, sure. And you know, who was going to knock them off, and I think it was, I don't know if it was 23 games or 26 games, something like that they won in a row. So, you know, it was nice to, I guess, put that run to an end, and just to let everybody know that, you know, these guys can be beaten. They're not invincible. Exactly.
Well, they certainly weren't, and of course, I think that probably took something away from them in the weekend. And once you beat them once, you know you can beat them any time now, and I bet you those guys are not looking forward to Halifax next year, because Halifax is hosting the Olympic trials. I'd like to see my buddy Mark get 2 out of those 10 spots, and I'd like to see Colleen with her 3. You guys might win another one next year, by the way. Talk a bit about that. We've got a great event coming to Halifax next year, and you will be there, and Colleen will be there, and you've got to think right now that your team and Colleen are at least, if not the favorites, the top 2 or 3 to win.
Well, there's only been 4 teams in the men's side qualify so far, and I think same on the ladies, and there'll be 1 more team added on each side by the end of the season here. So it's, you know, as the field, I guess, fills and develops, and you see who's coming and who's hot at the time, especially as the event approaches the time to play, it'll determine, I guess, who the favorites are. But, you know, if it was played in the next week or 2, certainly we'd have to feel like we're playing well enough to have a chance. Okay, Mark, lots of stuff to talk about tonight. There was a sad note from the sports world. The Maritimes on the weekend, Scott Fraser, the great racer, passing away in a snowmobile accident. We're going to be talking to Joan Rui from Scotia Speed World a little bit later today about his impact on the area racing in the Maritimes. Of course, a very sad passing, Scott Fraser at the age of 33. And of course, the basketball story, big stuff in the Maritimes this weekend as well, and in Halifax again, 21st straight year. It was a CIS Final 10, not the 8. Of course, there's lots of discussion about the format, but we had our cameras there. We caught the last tail end of the tournament. Of course, the Ottawa Ravens came up with another great weekend. 2 straight wins for them, 50 straight wins. You're talking about the Furby streak, a fantastic streak. Let's go right to quickly those highlights and some interviews from after the game as well.
This is an awesome team victory. You know, coaching staff won through all the guys. Our red shirts, you know, we put in so much effort, so this is the best feeling in the world.
Again, I just think it's a case of trust. You still got to get some breaks. I mean, we made some plays and we made the foul shots we had to make. The biggest thing is when it's close, our guys have faith in their teammates and themselves in terms of stopping people at the defensive end. That's what we did.
You know, going into this year, we had, you know, we lost the 2 seniors to season-ending injuries. And this team won 28 basketball games, the second highest total in my 29 years. I mean, unbelievable what they did. And we almost won in 29th, and we almost won a national championship, except for a bounce or a bad call or whatever, that close. You know, so I couldn't be more proud of these guys, regardless of whether they had more points or we had more points. It was a great basketball game, and they left everything on the floor, which is all you can ask them to do.
All right, that was Steve Konchalski there. St. FX coming up with another amazing season. And, of course, he's been around for 29 years, had 3 championships. It was tough this weekend against the Carleton Ravens, a very, very good basketball team, ending up 63-59. There was some talk about the officiating, all of that stuff. What did you see? How did you enjoy
Well,
this
I mean,
weekend?
it was a close game, and I'm still very proud of what X has done. I mean, you know, through the regular season, quite often Atlantic Canadian teams don't get the respect in the rankings. Our conference has took a lot of hits this year because we sent a couple of teams that I still don't think should have been at the Atlantic playoffs. So there was some controversy over how strong our conference was. But when it came down to the Canadian Championships, X again delivered, and 4 points away from yet another title, and a very respectful showing regardless of what you want to say about officiating or anything else. They delivered a class game when it counted.
I'll say, Mark, do you get a chance to see tournaments like that, or is it all curling, curling, curling?
March is a tough month to watch other sports in detail, especially if you're happen to be playing in the Brier. It just absorbs so much time, and unfortunately I didn't get to see much of it.
Okay. How much travel did you do early this year? Just give us the feeling of how you started off your season and how you sort of progressed into what's going on now, heading into the Worlds.
Well, we got to travel through all the beautiful highlight spots in Canada through the winter, which, you know, places like Thunder Bay and Sudbury and Regina. And, yeah, we were kind of Gander, Newfoundland. We went to about 8 or 9 different tournaments. I think we flew 4 or 5 times. So, you know, we were commonly seen in the airports, taking off and arriving, and kind of pretty tiring, really. By the time we got to play down time, we were a little burnt out.
But that's really good stuff, though, that you get to see the other rinks quite a bit, do you not?
Well, you get to see a lot of different faces, and you know, supposedly the top teams from Western Canada like to proclaim themselves. But you know, you want to stick close to home and play some tournaments. But if you only do that, then when you get out in the big show, you might get a little intimidated. So we wanted to make sure we got out on arena ice and got to see a lot of the bigger teams.
Some of the other things you personally had to deal with this year, of course, congratulations to you and Heather. You had a brand new baby 5 months ago, and then she was having so much success this year, winning Nova Scotia on the women's side, doing very well at the Scott. How hard was it to not only juggle your curling schedule, but Heather's and the new baby and all of that travel?
Well, does it show under my eyes?
You look pretty good.
Yeah. The sleep deprivation was probably the toughest thing, and then trying to balance the schedule where Heather was playing and I was watching Ty, and then when she was done and I had to go play, we kind of had to hand them off like a football. But you know, we had a lot of help. There's a big extended team with family and close friends as well that assist us in a lot of ways, and without them, there's no chance we'd be able to do what we do.
And certainly this year, of course, former Canadian mixed champion, both you, Heather, Rob, and Lainey, winning that 2 years ago now, but you've had to take a pass this year because you've both been too busy and you're still curling deep into next month now, and so you'll have to wait a while before you get back to a Canadian mixed probably.
Well, it may be some time before we play the mixed again after winning the national, and there's nothing else to carry on to after the national mixed. You know, you kind of done all you can really in mixed curling, and you know, with the time you put in with the men's and the ladies teams, and when you add the young fella in there, it doesn't add up. You got to leave some time in there for other things.
Absolutely.
You were telling us about your family as a sport group, and especially it seemed in Saskatoon. You spent some extra time with your parents out there, and what, an extra day or two. It must have been nice to have that sort of hometown feeling. Your hometown boy from Saskatoon, that had to be a very special thing, winning right there.
Yeah, we, you know, I was in Red Deer cheering Heather and her team on, and we decided to, instead of flying back home after Red Deer and flying back out to Saskatoon, that we would just go straight to Saskatoon. We rented a car and went there. So we got there on Monday, and the event didn't start till Saturday, and Thursday night was our first commitment. So we had Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday during the day to do our rounds and see family and friends and such. So it gave us a good chance to spend some time with the closest people to us in Saskatoon, and my parents had never met the baby before, so, you know, got a chance for everybody to meet young Ty, and just kind of, I guess, got the visiting over with before the curling started, because, you know, when you try to visit with people in between games and, you know, afterwards saying meet at the patches, just doesn't work.
Okay, like now, are you guys almost like a hockey team or something? Do you sequester yourselves away from all of that stuff while you're curling, or do you still do the family thing? Do you try to get into the hotel and stay away from the family stuff for a bit?
Well, I've learned from my past experiences at Nationals that rest is imperative, and it's an exhausting week. It's a marathon, and I find that if I'm not playing, I either want to be eating or sleeping. And if I don't have a morning game, then you know, you can go spend a little bit of time at the patch, or you know, have some fun. But really, if you exert too much energy too early, come late in the round robin and into the playoffs, you're feeling pretty tired.
Okay. One last question. We got a little stuff to take care of.
Well, I was going to get Mark to talk a little bit about the other guys in the team, because he's played with Rob for quite a few years now. Rob Harris, your second. Bruce Lonis joined your team last year, and you've had great success with him. And then you've got the kid, Andrew Gibson, on the team. So talk a little bit about the makeup of the team.
Sure, Leo. I think when we returned on Tuesday night, and the Mayflower had a nice reception for us. Colleen hosted it, and she kind of hit the nail on the head with each person. She said Bruce kind of has no pulse, and she wanted to know what he was taking because she wanted some. That's true. I've watched you know, a little bit of the final, and Bruce just is the same person as he is on Tuesday night club curling. He doesn't get overly excited. He stays very calm in the most tense of situations, and is a good calming influence on guys like Rob and myself, who, you know, can get a little bit antsy and you know, maybe let the adrenaline get away from us a bit. So he's a real calming influence and an outstanding shooter. The guy never even took up the game until he was in his 20s, and has had incredible success, and you can just see he's a player. Rob and I have a, you know, pretty special friendship where, you know, we're more than just curling teammates. We're best buddies as well, and you know, you sort of see that with top teams. Ed Wernick and had that with
Neil Harrison.
Yeah, Neil Harrison. And
earlier on with Savage, although they kind of drifted apart later. But
and you see a bit of that with Martin and Donnie Bartlett. So we have a bit of that where we got the good chemistry going. We're always feeding off each other, and we know each other really well. And of course, when we formed the team early last year, and Bruce had joined us first, we kind of looked at our ages and thought we better get somebody young in here, or bring the average age down. So Andrew was sort of fit the bill where he was available, young guy that's been to a couple of national juniors, and Andrew's just he's just successful, just plain and simple. He's been in 4 provincial finals and won them all. He's 24 years old, 2 Brier finals, 1 a Brier. It's you know, pretty incredible.
All right. He could be the next Colleen Jones on the men's side if he keeps at it for another 20 years.
You never know.
Okay, first 15 minutes gone already. We got Tim from Eastern Passage waiting on the other side of something we got to do right now. Got to take care of some business. Come right back for the second half on Sportsland on Eastlink Television. Come back and see us.
Get ready before the season starts with the Vector launch system at Rogers Surratt's Golf Central. Vector's easy, reliable club fitting technology is one that you can understand and trust. Scientifically evaluate the consistency of your swing at Rogers Surratt's Golf Central, Dartmouth, Halifax, and Moncton.
Harv Sportsland, brought to you by the Halifax Golf and Travel Show, March 26th to March 28th at Exhibition Park. Learn more about the show online at www.halifaxgolfandtravelshow.ca.
In business and want to build a stronger relationship with your community? Eastlink Television offers a variety of sponsorship options associated to this and other highly valued programming. Achieve your communication and promotional goals. Reach viewers that live, work, and shop in your neighborhood.
programs, and you can win great prizes. Win Eastlink high-speed internet gift certificates and prize packages full of great gear. When you see the first sign of spring logo, send an email to eltvcontests@eastlink.ca. Tell us when and where you saw it. Don't forget to include your name, mailing address, and phone number. And as an added bonus, instant prizes will be awarded on Harv Sportsland, 8 o'clock Monday nights, and Point of View, 8 o'clock Wednesday nights. It's the first sign of spring, exclusively on Eastlink Television.
No, Jerry's still doing the grocery shopping. Lucy, I told you I trust him.
Making healthy choices for you and your family can be challenging. That's why the Heart and Stroke Foundation created the Health Check program. The Health Check symbol tells you a product meets nutrition guidelines for healthy eating.
Lucy, I'm sure he'll be fine. I mean, it's not that difficult to make healthy choices. Woo!
Health Check tells you it's a healthy choice.
And welcome back to the second quarter of Sportsland on Eastlink Television tonight. And we've got our friend Brad McCont back from XL or wherever the heck he was. And of course, we've got Mark Dacey in the middle tonight on the hot seat, sort of. Special guest and also co-host tonight. Cecil's out of town in Fort Myers, Florida, watching baseball and drinking cold beer. And yeah, we've got Tim from Eastern Passage. And Tim, you are the first giveaway winner tonight. We're going to get you a Sportsnet a shirt. It's a beauty. It's one of the great jobs. We'll actually get a close-up of that a little bit later. We're giving away Sportsnet hats tonight, too. So, Tim from Eastern Passage, weigh in. What's going on tonight?
Hi, guys. How are you tonight?
We're great.
I just wanted to say before we start here, congratulations, Mark, on your Brier win. It really filled me with a lot of Nova Scotian pride to see you guys persevere the way you did there late in that game down by 4. It really made me feel proud to be Nova Scotian.
Thanks, Tim.
I just wanted to say, guys, and I guess it's not on such a light, fun term, the state of the NHL is starting to get ridiculous. You saw what happened with Wade Belak and with Mark Messier, and what happened in the Nashville-Calgary game. Oh. You just look at that kind of thing, and I'm wondering, because I've played organized hockey for 12 years now, and maybe it's either that the players don't understand there's a consequence to their actions, or they don't care that there's a consequence to their actions. Because I've never been desirous to sucker punch somebody from behind or slash somebody in the face with their stick because I'm angry. I don't understand their rationale, especially people who've been playing long enough to know better, like Mark Messier.
You know, Tim, it's not like the Broad Street bullies in the 70s where they used to drop the gloves and fight, and that was the old violence in hockey. The stick work is what I think I'm appalled by. It sounds like that's what you're appalled by. We talked to Harv and Mark mentioned it before the show started tonight. It's just getting zany. You don't hit people with a stick of any kind anywhere.
Absolutely.
And that's what I think is really getting people.
You know what it is, Tim? It was comic book sort of violence in the 70s, but right now these guys they're not accountable for their actions.
No.
They don't seem to care. There's no respect for each other, and they don't respect the game. And guess what? When they try to sell the TV rights, the contract is running out this year. They're not going to be able to get any decent money for the rights. I mean, this sport is going to slip under the radar, and it's already started. So, I don't know. What do you think, Tim?
You're absolutely right. And to see one of the great ambassadors of the game, Mark Messier, spear somebody facetiously, or not facetiously, just vehemently like he did is terrible.
Oh, it was awful.
What are we saying to viewers who are just getting into hockey when you see stalwarts of the game like Mark Messier committing acts like that?
Yeah, and the kids too. I mean,
why is he playing?
I mean, the kids too. You know, if they see the big stars hitting each other with sticks, and they're going to go into their house league games and their little Adam A and Adam AA games, and they're going to start whacking with sticks, and they're going to wonder why they're in the penalty box because they see it all the time in the National Hockey League. And I think the big guys have to put a stop to it. The rule makers, all the stars like Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky have complained that they've got to start calling some of the even simpler stick work and call it a penalty. It's in the rule book. You hook a guy in the box. You hit him in the box. They've got to start calling the basic penalties, because then the guys don't lose their steam. If a guy goes to the box for a stick infraction, the guy he's hitting 6 times won't finally get mad and turn around and whack him.
If it's something flagrant,
they've got to call it by the book.
But guess what? If it's flagrant, don't throw the book at the guy. Throw the library.
Absolutely.
Get it done.
The library.
Yeah, you betcha. You know, it's about time that these guys paid the price properly. They haven't been in the past. They get 2, 3, 4, 5 games. It's ridiculous.
Because you never see someone like Gordie Howe or Wayne Gretzky spear somebody in the gut. It wouldn't happen.
Well, Gordie was too sneaky. He did other things.
No, when he used the elbow, he used the fist, but that was old-time hockey.
That was the way they played. Tim, anything else tonight?
I just wanted, again, I wanted to congratulate Mark. I'm just very proud.
Right. Good stuff. Thanks a lot, Tim.
Not a problem.
All right, we got Bill from St. FX. Bill, what's up?
Hey there, Harv.
How you doing, buddy?
Great. We had 20 people in this room. We love your show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we're just calling to see what you thought of that double dribble call there against Carlton.
Well, you know what? That was, I tell you, it was sad. But there were sad calls at both ends of the court last night. You know, it seemed like they wouldn't let the guys play. The
really.
tempo of that game was very, very slow. You got two pretty talented teams, and I don't know. It was pretty tough to watch.
Yeah, it was kind of sad there. We're all disappointed. We just had to voice our opinion there.
Well, thank you.
You don't
we
like
love
to,
you guys.
you don't like to see that kind of a call tarnish a game. It
No,
did.
not at all.
But I mean, you guys have to be proud of the team
Yeah, we're
from
proud they made
Exagen.
it. Yeah, we're proud they made it that far.
Okay, Billy.
You know, we got to tell you something. We don't have. I know you've got a big group down there, so we can't send you all a prize. But you guys can have a raffle. Your big group of 20, because somebody in that room, maybe you,
better
have
believe
just won a prize.
Wow.
Yeah,
Put her there.
we'll get you a nice Sportsnet T-shirt.
Yeah, so we love Cecil. We love Cecil.
You love Cecil.
We miss him too.
We love Cecil.
We need him back here.
You got a question for Mark tonight?
Mark, I don't know. You're looking pretty good on TV there.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate that. You're looking pretty good, too.
Sounds like the guys are...
Congratulations,
You got the
Mark.
perfect face for radio.
The boys and girls are having a nice time in St. FX. That's great. Thanks for the call tonight. Good for you. Thanks for watching the show in a group. That's great stuff. All right, Lisa from Halifax. What's up tonight? Hi, Lisa. That's one of our regulars, actually. Lisa, you're not with us tonight. Okay.
No, we're in.
We'll continue. Okay, we should go back to the last game, and you know, there were some bizarre things that went on. There was a lot. It seemed like Randy Furby, I don't know if he did, but the team lost a little bit of composure right at the end with the heckler. Kind of run us through that. That's something that people will remember from that game, along with the great comeback. But the heckler was really something bizarre. You don't see that in curling.
Well,
what happened?
I never knew.
You were at the other end of the ice, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I never heard anything about it until I watched the highlights the next morning, and seen it on TSN. But you know, was many times where I was throwing a shot and someone would whistle really loud, or in the semifinal game I was drawing for 3 in the 8th end, and someone yelled hog it. And I never heard those things. They were pointed out to me by my team, and I think what happens is, you know, when you're playing well, you get in a zone and you're really focused on, you know, just what's happening on the sheet. And then when you kind of get out of that zone or things start going astray, then that's when you start to hear everything. And I'm not sure how bad the heckling was, if it was extremely loud or extremely rude, what the guy was saying. But
well, the big boy from Alberta wanted a piece of that guy.
Oh yeah, no question. It was getting under Dave's skin, and Dave was passing it on to his bigger boys on his team. So it's unfortunate that it happened, but you know, that's live sports for you.
Golf and curling, are these guys a little too sensitive to what's going on in the crowd, do you think? Like Tiger Woods often gets mad, even with,
and of course, with
Davis
Love recently.
But with photos collected.
I should say Davis Love the third.
The third, of course. Are they too sensitive, or should this not get so raw? Because you hear about the audiences in places like Phoenix, of course, the odd time in curling. But do you think the curlers and golfers just to deal with this? What do you think they should do?
I think you should just deal with it. It's you know, if it gets out of hand, the officials are there to take care of it. But for the most part, people pay their money to watch, and if they want to shout something, I mean, as long as
it's not Happy Gilmore or something.
Exactly.
No, but I mean, the thing is like Mark says, you're supposed to be, as an athlete, in the zone. And I mean, you go to the Brier, there's cowbells ringing, you get ladies doing this chant and the weird, I mean, there's all kinds of distractions if you want to let them be distractions.
Exactly.
And I mean, I think the bottom line is Netawin knew he was going down, and he needed to make a little parachute. And something to complain about, because he knew he was going to lose. Hey, what are you talking about?
Easy.
Huh?
Easy now.
He might be watching from Edmonton.
Netawin,
yeah,
get your hair cut. I don't like the long hair thing you had.
All right, Lisa from Halifax is with us now. Lisa, what's up?
Hey, how are you tonight?
We're glad to hear from you. What are you doing? What's up?
I just got out of the hospital for one.
All right.
But
well,
I want to
best wishes to you.
I just want to ask one question. What pick for the Quebec Major Junior?
Okay.
Which pick do you think will get the cup? And
all right.
for the NHL, who do you think? Which top team
Oh, okay. So Stanley Cup and the Quebec Junior League. Okay,
Yep.
we can do that for you. Thanks for the call, Lisa.
We're going to send
And I'd like
Lisa
to say
ball cap or something?
congratulations
To Mark as well.
to Mark. You were the best. Besides Colleen Jones, me and my best friend, we sat there. We both were on the phone, talking to each other, watching the game, and we were just right on the edge of our seats. Congratulations.
Good. Thanks a lot for the call, Lisa.
Okay.
And we'll tell you what's going on with that. Okay, first Quebec Junior League, then NHL real quickly because we've got a special guest on the phone as well.
All right. Well, I'm going to say Cape Breton. I was talking to a couple of hockey fans at the Joe yesterday, and really pushing for Cape Breton to go all the way. They've got Fleury, they've got solid team, Stevie Dixon, Halifax boy, top to bottom, great team, and I really hope they can go all the way.
I agree with you. Maybe Gatineau's got a very good team too. Mark, a little bit about the Quebec Junior League?
I'm liking the way the Wildcats started off playoffs.
Moncton, all right, okay. And quickly NHL, who's going to win the Stanley Cup this year?
Ottawa Senators.
Detroit Red Wings. But okay, Mark?
Bruins, got to go with Bruins.
Hey, Cecil there.
That's
Cecil,
a surprise.
Cecil's
That's,
still
All
here.
right, Cecil, I'm holding your spot for you.
That's a dark horse in the East for sure.
Dark horse, come on, man.
Boston's got a good team. No doubt.
And I'm not an Ottawa Senators fan, so I'm calling them. Now, you're definitely a Detroit fan.
I am.
You're a Boston fan. Cecil's a Boston fan. I'm just picking the Senators because of the mathematics and Jacques Martin.
Okay, we have to continue now. Serious story now. Very serious loss this weekend with Scott Fraser. Quickly, we've got Joan Rui on the phone from Scotia Speed World. Joan, how is this being felt throughout the racing community tonight? I understand you're going to the service tomorrow in Shubenacadie. Just give us a sense of what this guy meant to everybody in your community and around the sports world in the Maritimes.
Scott was he was certainly an icon in the Maritimes racing world. You know, the fan sentiment, the overwhelming fan sentiment that we are hearing is that they're likening this loss to the day that Dale Earnhardt died. That, you know, they're feeling that same way, and that was the stature of his greatness in this industry in this part of the world.
Okay, the 4 championships, Joan, in the Maritimes. Of course, he did ASA racing and was pretty close to almost a NASCAR shot. How close was he really to that? And that was his dream as a young racer, was it not?
It was absolutely his dream. I mean, he definitely could have made it. I mean, it was a money thing. I mean, they needed the right break. They needed a sponsorship or to get him in a ride that that was going to really showcase the talent that he had.
And over the years, here's a guy that career, he started off so quickly and very consistent over the years as well. Some thoughts about that. He seemed a race in and race out very, very good.
He just never settled for second. I mean, he told me, I can't tell you countless times, second place was the first loser.
Yeah.
And that was the attitude he had from the day that he started racing. He was a second generation driver, so I mean, it was, if you can inherit those types of things, he got it from his dad, Frank.
His father,
Fraser.
Frank.
Yeah.
And finally, just a sense of, like we said, how much he meant to the racing community, and also he lived life to the fullest, did he not? Day in, day out, a real fun guy as well.
Fun is really the sentiment that everybody has been talking about the last couple of days that knew him. I mean, he did. He probably packed more into 33 years than most people are fortunate enough to get into an 80-year-old life. So every day, if there was an opportunity to have fun and enjoy his life, he was there.
All right, Joan, thanks a lot for being with us tonight. Spend a few minutes with us, and we're all very, very sad, but we have to celebrate a great life of a great young man and taken away so soon.
We appreciate your time, Harv.
Great. Thanks a lot,
Thanks
Joan.
a lot.
Take care. Good night. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's great, Nova Scotia producing so many top athletes in all sports. We've got Mark here tonight from curling, Colleen, but I mean, we're doing it in so many sports now, sending athletes of hockey, baseball, and of course, our greatest racer to date.
Right on. Scott Fraser, 33 years old. Okay, we got to wrap it up for this segment. Cecil's coming back at you for the third quarter. You're on Sportsland on East Lake Television. Come on right back.
Get ready before the season starts with the Vector launch system at Rogers Surratt's Golf Central. Vector's easy, reliable club fitting technology is one that you can understand and trust. Scientifically evaluate the consistency of your swing at Rogers Surratt's Golf Central, Dartmouth, Halifax, and Moncton.
Harv Sportsland, brought to you by the Halifax Golf and Travel Show, March 26th to March 28th at Exhibition Park. Learn more about the show online at www.halifaxgolfandtravelshow.ca.
In business and want to build a stronger relationship with your community? Eastlink Television offers a variety of sponsorship options associated to this and other highly valued programming. Achieve your communication and promotional goals. Reach viewers that live, work, and shop in your neighborhood.
The regular season is over and the real season is underway in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Eastlink Television brings you top-notch playoff hockey as teams battle for the President's Cup. The Quebec Major Junior Hockey League playoffs, exclusively on Eastlink Television. Check local listings.
Learning can happen anywhere. Set aside 15 minutes a day to read with your children.
Third quarter play on Sportsland on Eastlink Television tonight. And we're taking calls. We got Cecil Wright on the phone as well. And, of course, Brad McConn's back. And Mark Dacey's in the house with us for tonight's festivities, of course, winning the Brier recently. And, Cece, where are you right now, buddy?
I am in Fort Myers, Florida, just getting ready to go out. You're delaying me from having my dinner.
That's too bad. Are you in a bar somewhere?
No, not right now.
Oh, you will be?
Yeah.
Oh, that's allowed.
Cecil, you know, Brad McCon here, by the way. Yeah, like you didn't know that. But anyway,
Yeah,
Cecil, you're going out for dinner in Florida at the Ball Spring. Don't you just eat like a hot dog and a beer when you go to watch these baseball games?
Well, because the Red Sox were playing at Vero Beach today, we took a tour.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we took a tour of City of Palms Park.
Yeah.
Where actually, Harv, wait till you hear this, I got an autographed baseball by Louis Tiant.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Wow, good
Don't
for
think
you.
you're going to touch it, though. You're never going to touch it.
Well, you know, we could wipe the thing off.
Can you look at it? Like maybe like give
Did
him a
you
look?
get to meet Louis?
Yes, I did.
Oh, right
Talked to
on.
him just for a few seconds today. Yeah.
Yep.
There were some of the players that had an easy day were left behind, like Pokey Reese and Gabe Kapler, and some of the infields were working on their bunting, so we got to walk around. They wouldn't let us on the field.
Yeah, but you had some
Players
brushes.
were there.
You had brushes with greatness today with the Red Sox.
I would say that any of these guys that got to meet our boy Cecil had a brush with greatness.
That's right.
Well,
You know-
they were interested in what I had to say, but I'm kind of quiet.
Yeah, the low-key Cecil. Yeah,
Hey,
right. Not.
Cease, you're down in Wonderland down there, nice weather and all that, and we're back here with the cold weather and curling and hockey and all that
Oh, you
stuff.
should tell. You got to tell Cecil who
Oh,
we've
of course,
got on with us.
we got Mark Dacey with us tonight, the Brier champ. You got a question for Mark?
Well, I want to congratulate Mark and the rest of his team for a fabulous performance. It was just unbelievable to see how those guys hung together. They were down and came back like that. That's clutch. Great job, Mark.
Thanks,
Maybe
Cecil.
you can give pointers at some days.
Well, just want to say as well that, your seat isn't easy to fill here. These two guys are, filling either ear with a lot of stuff, and I'm not sure how you do it weekly, but my hat's off to you.
It's tough listening to those two, I'll tell you.
And hey, to a fellow Bruins fan, let's go all the way this year.
That up, boy, Mark. That up. You were really high on my Christmas list.
Okay, hey, Cease, I got to ask you, the talk around there has got to be about the Yankees. You think the Boston Red Sox fans are just too preoccupied with the Yankees? I mean, Baltimore's got a pretty good team. The Blue Jays have a good young team. Baltimore picked up some good players this year. Are they worried too much about the Yankees, you think?
Well, it's interesting because actually at the end of this week, I guess the Yankees are coming to town. So it'll be, or the Red Sox are going to play the Yankees.
Are you going to get to see any of that?
No, I'm actually we're coming back tomorrow.
Oh, I see.
But I did get to see Pedro pitch and Wakefield pitch.
Wow.
And believe it or not, the talk down here isn't so much about the Yankees because the Red Sox share Fort Myers with the Minnesota Twins.
Okay.
So that's the other team that people are talking about. But you know, I have met some Red Sox fans, and we did have some at-length discussions about the Yankees. And the general consensus is that the Red Sox pitching is so superior, they think that's going to put us over the top.
That was my question to you, Cecil, is how good do you think the Boston pitching is now that you've had a chance to see Wakefield and Pedro pitch, so we know how their arms have harbored the winter?
Well, I'll tell you, Pedro was working on his curveball for the first 3 innings of the game that we saw. He pitched 4 innings. In the 4th inning, he was quoted in the paper the next day as saying that he used that inning like it was his first inning of the regular season. He struck out the side on 14 pitches.
Wow.
Excellent.
Wow. So you don't want to come. You don't want to come back, do you, Cease?
Well, you know,
you're in heaven down there.
I do want to come back because I miss all of you guys, my friends and relatives and stuff. But
you're really lying.
Cecil is probably down there with his agent. A, he's a very good baseball coach. He would not be. It's no offense, Cecil. You would not make a head coach right now for Boston. But I know you're trying to weasel your way on to be one of the many coaches of this Boston team.
No, they're pretty much. They've got Terry Francona's got things in order down here.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Anything else tonight, Cease? I think you covered it very well for us. Thank you. Thanks for calling.
I do want to say this, that Nomar's injury, Nomar had a walking cast on the other day.
They're talking Achilles, right?
Yeah, but they say that he's going to be out of the cast next week, and he says he's going to be ready to play by opening day. So
okay.
We'll see.
All right. Well, we want you back in the seat next week. Mark's doing a great job. I mean, I don't know.
It's tough,
hey,
man.
Mark's a Bruins fan. Why would he do any less than a great job?
Exactly. Okay.
He's a Canadian champion.
You better be back with us next week.
I'll be back, buddy.
Two-time Canadian.
Great stuff. Thanks a lot, bud.
Take care of yourselves, and congratulations again, Mark.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Cease.
All right.
Okay,
Can I throw, before we go to Scott, I want to throw out a trivia challenge because I'm going to give away 2 tickets to the Halifax Golf and Travel Show, and they are real. I'm holding it up right now. If you can tell us, Mark is a great curler, but what is his profession? If you can tell us what he does to what he does. No, he paid his dues doing
for a living.
Yeah. If you can tell us what he does to
what do
make
you got in the cup there, Sunshine?
I don't know. It's pretty good tonight. I'll have another drink out of my Eastlink cup.
Okay,
so the first caller will get set right, but Scott can't play along. Can we go to Scott now?
Let's go to Scott.
Hey, let's go to Scott Squires, our good correspondent in Cape Breton. How you doing in Sydney tonight?
Well, obviously not as well as you, Brad.
No, I've got a good mug of Eastlink brew going on.
Hey, Scott, say hi to Mark.
Hey, Mark, listen, first of all, congratulations. I mean, obviously, everyone's very proud of you. You came very close last year, and I'm sure the experience with that helped you go the extra step this year, and I know that you're going to represent Nova Scotia and Canada very well.
Thanks, Scott. It was a dream come true to finally pull it off in a Brier final. Losing 3 would have been pretty hard to take, but you know, I can rest. I can quit my curling career a happy man now.
Well, certainly the mark of a true champion is the one that can take defeat and then come back and turn it in their favor. So once again, congratulations to you.
Thanks, Scott.
Okay, now Scott, have you got any players on board tonight?
Well, I'll tell you, I was hoping to, but as is so often the case with things like this, I'm at the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles Awards Banquet.
All right, on. Okay.
And things with speeches and so on have kind of gotten into a bit of a slow pace.
Okay, give us a scoop. MVP been handed out yet?
No, as of yet. They're still going around the room and kind of talking about what a great year it's had. You know, they've thanked the players. Some of the players get up. Captain Guillaume Demers got up and made a really nice speech talking about how the fans have taken in the players as billets and as players, and how the players have taken the fans and Cape Breton into their hearts. I mean, that was a very, very nice speech, and no hardware given out yet, but it's a very hungry bunch of Eagles looking forward to getting on the ice.
What was the main course tonight, Scott? Was it a chicken? Was it beef?
It was a lovely sliced roast beef.
Okay, very
smothered
good.
in gravy.
And was it salad or soup?
Salad to start.
Okay,
that's lovely. Did you have anything to wash down with the palate and all of that?
Well, I haven't eaten yet. I've put a couple of meals in my pocket, so for the next couple of days for lunch, I'm set.
All right, Scott, do you think these guys have had too long a layoff? That's the question you ask when you get a bye. Are they ready to go and rip right through the playoffs, you think?
Spent a lot of time around the team today, practicing again at the banquet tonight. And, I mean, I don't want to be cliche, but they've got the fire in their eyes, right from the coaching staff, Pascal Vincent, Guy Lalonde, right on down the line, all the players. They don't care about the layoff. As a matter of fact, they were kind of banged up the last little bit of the season, and they're looking forward to this layoff, to getting all those players back. The only guy that didn't do a full practice today was Captain Guillaume Demers, but he even got on the ice for the last 15 minutes, and the coach looked me in the eye and said, "We're going to be ready to go." So they're going to have a full squad ready, and they are just chomping at the bit, and they don't care who they play. They just want to get out there and show their fans and show the country that the rankings and the effort they've put forth this year was no fluke.
Okay, Scott, we can't wait to see you guys in action. You're going to be doing a couple of games on Eastlink Television. Just quickly tell us when the first one is, and we'll go from there and say goodnight tonight.
First game is going to be a week from this Friday, coming April the 2nd. Game time is 7:30, and we're going to have Game 1 and Game 2. Game 2 will be on Saturday. It's going to be exciting. We can't wait to bring it to you.
Oh, boy.
Excellent.
Did you ever jam
Good
that
stuff.
into? Good stuff.
Good
Thanks a lot,
segue.
Scott.
Thanks a lot, Scott.
Great to talk to you guys. I'll be in touch again, and once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Take
Okay.
care now. Bye-bye.
Rick from Dartmouth.
Hi, guys. How are you?
How you doing,
Good.
man?
Good, good. Harv and Brett, how are you?
We are great. Have you got the answer to our trivia question?
No, I don't have the answer, but I just want to congratulate Mark.
Okay, take a shot at it.
Well,
What's his profession?
well, I'm going to take a long shot and just say golf.
You are absolutely
Rick,
right.
you and I
have
can go
just
places,
won. He is a
man.
golf
Oh,
pro.
man.
We didn't even make that up. He really is a golf pro, and you've just won 2 tickets to this weekend's golf and travel show right here in Halifax at Exhibition Park. So congratulations for that, and good luck the next time you play Trivial Pursuit. Always take a guess.
All right, Rick, what do you got for us tonight, actually?
2 things for Mark. Thanks,
Sure.
Mark.
Yep.
Second thing, Mark, can you give me some insight on the guy that when you played that Alberta team and the guy looked over at the fan and said, one more word in your mind. What do you think about that?
It might have been a little bit of overreaction at the time. I didn't know anything about it at the time. I only found out about it the next day. Probably not how I would have handled it. You know, if you I guess, show the crowd that they're getting to you, then they're going to try to get to you more. And as an athlete out in the ice, I think you know, you really got to stay in the zone, and you really don't want to let anybody, you know, on the ice or in the crowd even think that they're getting under your skin. Even if they are, you got to try to block it out. So probably not what I would have done, but you know, pretty emotional time and a lot of tension out there. So you know, Marcel's a big guy. I wouldn't want to mess with him.
He is a big guy. But what I was just thinking when I watched it and you guys won, and I just said to myself, you know, I don't even know what the fans said, but I'm saying to myself after you guys came back and won, like, it looks good on you, though. You know, I know that's probably kind of harsh to say, but, you know, I really don't think he should have yelled that out, in my opinion, you know, in curling. I just thought, you know, you go, both teams are going out to win, you know, you get a little hyped up, but I think that he's just out of line a little bit saying things like that to the crowd, right?
Yeah. Well, thanks for the call tonight.
Okay.
Thanks,
Congratulations, Mark.
Stay on the line. We'll get you fixed up with those tickets.
Okay.
That's right. Okay, Wendell from PEI is going to close out this segment. Wendell, what do you got? We got a nice Sportsnet shirt for you tonight. And how you doing?
Great.
Good. Stay on the line afterwards. What do you got for us, real quick?
Yeah, I was going to say, who do you like in the NBA playoffs?
Oh, boy, that's out of left field. Go ahead.
You guys, I'm still focused on. I'm still trying to put all my energy in picking out a Q champion,
You know what?
an
It's gonna-
NHL champion,
Oh, I know, on and on.
NBA. All the teams I
Wendell,
like aren't doing
It's
that
going to
well.
come out of the West. That's all I can tell you. Sacramento's got a great team.
As long as it's not the Lakers.
No, I don't think that's going to happen this year. Indianapolis, well, or Indiana, I should say, is the best team in the East right now, but I like Sacramento a lot.
So do I.
Do you?
I think it's going to be the Kings
I think they got a great team.
Indiana.
Yeah, that's going to be the final. You know, none of the teams in the East are really very good, but there's 4 or 5 great ones in the West.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Thanks for the call tonight,
Okay,
Wendell.
thanks, bye.
Okay, we got a minute to play with here, guys. 30 seconds now. You know, what do you think? To close things out?
We still have another quarter, so I want all of our fans at home. You can still win a few
what do
more
we got to give
prizes
away?
tonight, and you can also win this big basket if you see the comment. Email at Eastlink.
First sign of spring.
First sign of spring.
And we're
Connie.
making
We've
the
got
draw
everything in that basket
next
for
week.
the sports fans, so don't miss that.
All right. Come right back with us. Last quarter of play goes so quickly. Keep the phone calls coming and come back. Sportsland on Eastlink Television.
Get ready before the season starts with the Vector launch system at Rogers Surratt's Golf Central. Vector's easy, reliable club fitting technology is one that you can understand and trust. Scientifically evaluate the consistency of your swing at Rogers Surratt's Golf Central, Dartmouth, Halifax, and Moncton.
Harv Sportsland, brought to you by the Halifax Golf and Travel Show, March 26th to March 28th at Exhibition Park. Learn more about the show online at www.halifaxgolfandtravelshow.ca.
In business and want to build a stronger relationship with your community? Eastlink Television offers a variety of sponsorship options associated to this and other highly valued programming. Achieve your communication and promotional goals. Reach viewers that live, work, and shop in your neighborhood.
Spot the first sign of spring on one of our programs and you can win great prizes. Win Eastlink high-speed internet gift certificates and prize packages full of great gear. When you see the first sign of spring logo, send an email to eltvcontests@eastlink.ca. Tell us when and where you saw it. Don't forget to include your name, mailing address, and phone number. And as an added bonus, instant prizes will be awarded on Harv Sportsland, 8 o'clock Monday nights, and Point of View, 8 o'clock Wednesday nights. It's the first sign of spring, exclusively on Eastlink Television.
Whoa. What are you doing?
Playing hide and go seek.
That's hide and seek? I found you in 2 seconds. Get out of there. If you want to win this game, you got to do a lot better than that. Right? Come on. Get in. Hustle. Now that's the way you play the game.
And welcome back to the last 50 minutes of play on Sportsland on Eastlink Television tonight. We got that big contest coming on, first sign of spring, a beautiful gift basket, that's one of them. And we're going to actually make the draw for that next Monday, March the 29th. And all sorts of fun stuff in there. You got music from The Sopranos, some CDs, complete season 2 of 24 with Kiefer Sutherland, Court TV hats, Medium Speed Channel t-shirts, We Are Soldiers t-shirt, Wind Talkers t-shirt, Independent Film Channel, love that. Flannel ARTV blanket, Canadian Cable System, Alliance backpacks, a Wilson football, and 2 Eastlink fold-out chairs. So that's a pile of great sports stuff and entertainment stuff for you. We're going to make the draw for that next week, and you have to email in when you see the little icon in the corner during Eastlink programming, including this show. All right, Jeremy from Trudeau.
Good speed reading on that piece. Okay, let's go to Jeremy now from Truro. Jeremy, you are on the show. Welcome back. And what do you want to talk about tonight? We've got Mark Dacey in the studio tonight.
What do you think of the MJAHL playoffs?
Oh, boy.
Well, we were talking about that with Scott Squires there a moment ago. So
MJAHL.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
MJ, BJ,
Halifax.
You work with BJ. Well, you know, the Pepsis aren't in it. The Mariners trying
Mariners
to
have got a good club.
Jump up down there. Truro's going to be tough, but I kind of like to see the Mariners win it just because I know a lot of the young kids down there that have played in Metro, and they took a chance last year when they went down there to play. They didn't know at the time if it was going to be the success that it's become, and I'd like to see, you know, guys like Young Bottomley and Oxtoby and these guys have the ride of their lives.
And they have just great fan support down there, too. All right. Anything else tonight?
Well, like...
He's from Truro, so he's really mad at us right now for
the
saying
Bearcats
well, you know,
are a good club, too.
You know, the Bearcats got, you know, like an unreal team, you know. They're like, what can I say, you know? They picked up a lot from the first of the season, you know.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, no, it should come down to those 2 teams. I think the sad thing is they're going to have to play somebody on the other side of the conference, and the semifinal is going to be where the action is. Is that your thoughts, Jeremy? Do you think the 2 best teams are in Nova Scotia?
I think, yeah.
Okay, I think so too.
I see a big difference in the Bent division from the MIC division, you know. Like,
yes.
Yeah, this year.
You
some years it's a little closer,
yeah,
but
like,
this year it's not.
It looks good for the Miramichi Timberwolves this year, you know. Like, they were in last place ever since they come in the league, I think, you know.
Yeah, they're an improved team, too.
They're, like, you know.
Very much so.
But,
well, thanks for the call tonight, Jeremy.
Yeah, good enough.
Right on. Thank you. Okay. Looks like we got Nancy from Lower Sackville, and we'll be doing some 5 for Fighting pretty soon here.
Yeah, we got to slip a few of those Joe winners in there. All the little kids. Some time for the little kids.
We'll make time for the
kids. But let's go to Nancy. Hey, Nancy, how you doing?
Oh, she's not
we
there.
lost her.
Make time for the kids,
Well, let's just take a quick time for the kids all over Nova Scotia. There was 3,000 of them at the Joe LaMontagne in Cole Harbour, and actually all throughout Dartmouth last week. And we always like to showcase some teams from around the province, so if we can look at some of those shots now. New Waterford, Cape Breton. They make the trip down every year. This year they were very successful, and that's one of the younger divisions, the Adam division. So our congratulations to that gang on the screen. Jump ahead to these guys, the Cole Harbour Midget Blues, undefeated in 47 games this year. That was, they're like a Mark Dacey rink on the ice in hockey. Congratulations to John Moulins and his team, an outstanding year there from Cole Harbour. And our viewers out in the East Hants area will enjoy looking at one of their many teams. They had several teams from East Hants winning medals this year. Congratulations to that hockey association. And let's see, Sackville, right here in our studio out in Sackville.
Yep.
This is one of the girls, the midget girls, and they won gold in that division.
How many kids altogether in that tournament?
3,000 hockey players over
tournament.
9 days.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Second only to the Sedma, which is coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
This was one of the biggest comebacks of the week. The Bantam Panthers were down 5-1 into the third period, scored 4 goals to tie it up in the third, and took it into overtime with a win. Congratulations to Michael Vincent, who scored the goal in that game. His dad, Dwight, a big fan of our show, Harv. He likes you, believe it or not.
Oh, thank you.
Thinks
That's
you're
nice
a great guy. He likes Mark, too. But anyway, there is the Halifax Hawks, another fine associate. Oh, wait, Turl Bearcats, our last caller who called in. I got the colors wrong. They're the colors right. But anyway, Turl Bearcats, give them big kudos. Northside Atlantic, Sydney, champions. Congratulations, Sydney. And there are the Hawks to finish it.
Right on. I feel like Ron McLean trying to juggle this act tonight. But that's great.
We've got so many teams all over the province.
You did a nice job with those photos, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Good job. All right, we got to start fighting.
Brad, Cecil, Harv, 5 minutes for fighting. Let's go!
Okay. We really, on the show, don't like talking about fighting.
Now, guys, now!
Yeah, we'll start already. What's with him?
Hey, let's fight.
But we got to talk about it. 3 incidents in the last week. I mean, it's been ugly. We're talking about the, of course, with Mark Messier, Wade Belak, 8 games for him. That just came today. Messier, 2 games. And, of course, that Flames Predators thing. When are these guys going to learn? I mean, after what happened with Bertuzzi, are they finally going to wake up? What do you guys think? They have to at some point.
I would like to see
how stiff are the penalties going to have to be?
The officials, they step up. If you use a stick, throw them in the box. You're allowed to check with the shoulder, okay? If it's with the stick, it's a penalty. Start calling stick penalties, and we're going to see a better game. Yeah. More scoring, better skating, better skill.
Mark, you played some hockey, did you not?
Hit him where it hurts, right in the pocketbook. That's,
pocketbook? Bertuzzi, how much money was that for that? That's cost him like $565,000, I believe.
Never mind the salary, a fine too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big fine. All right, we'll continue. We got Warren Sapp, signed by the Oakland Raiders. The circus is black now, back in town. A guy like that, does he fit in with a team like that perfectly, or is he going to be a big bust?
Didn't he beat the Raiders 2 years ago?
He did in the Super Bowl, but he's,
so that's an interesting
he only had
flip.
6 sacks last season, didn't do a whole lot.
Well, that team, Tampa, they struggled last year. But, I like Warren Sapp. I like his commercials. He's an entertaining guy. He's good for the game. So I'm just going to say I wish him the best, but that's going to be an interesting franchise next year. A lot of changes in Oakland.
Okay, we got Jones versus Dacey. And Dacey versus Furby. Would you like to take him on again in a final? Furby first.
He probably will.
Well, if I'm taking him on in a final, it means I must have won some games to get there, so sure, why not?
Is that the toughest part, though? They say enjoy it as much as you can because you never know when you're going to go back. It's just getting there is really an accomplishment.
Well, it is, and, even when we lost the 1-2 game, if someone said, if you were down 4 in the final, going into the semifinal, I'd say, well, yeah, at least I'm in the final.
Okay, cool. And Furby, any sort of bad blood, rivalry? You guys get along off the ice?
He seemed pretty mad when he lost. Like, he was not a gracious loser this year.
He was ticked.
He was probably preparing his comments for winning 4 Briers in a row around the 7th end break. So, to change your interview comments in such a short time, because I had to change mine. I know what I was getting ready to say. So, you can easily, with a big lead, your mind can wander off, and then all of a sudden, when you get the shock of defeat in such a short time frame like that, it's a hard pill to swallow.
Well, the thrill of victory looked good on you and the boys.
Sure did.
I'm telling you, the celebration in Nova Scotia continues. And not only are we going to be excited to watch the Worlds, I can't wait to see right here in Halifax Olympic trials because we do not have 2 teams hosting.
We're not
we
fighting
have
here.
2 of the
What's
best
with you?
teams. Come on, 2 of the best.
I want to talk about, actually, we were discussing this earlier. say, Colleen Jones against you in a big charity match of some sort, would you welcome something like that? It's been done before, like Marilyn Bodo and Ed Wernick, stuff like that. I mean, it's just a fun thing, but it raises money for charity. What do you think?
Oh, I think it'd be a great idea. You know, we actually play against Colleen on the men's circuit. She plays men's spiels, and she's had her number a couple times. So, you know, we owe her one. We're like third time lucky against Furby. Well, third time lucky against Colleen, maybe.
Right on. Okay, Steve Francis, ESPN the other night, comes off the court at halftime, swears into the camera again. Here's another third-person kind of guy. Steve Francis does that. Should he be fined or suspended? What's with these guys? Kids are watching this on television. How do you guys feel? I know you wouldn't do such a thing, and how do you feel?
Well, all I'm saying is curling had over 2 million people watching the final in Canada. Basketball had about 20,000. Say no more.
Oh, really? That's
in Canada.
You're being pretty tough, are you?
In Canada.
No, that's true. But shouldn't athletes have enough decorum and, you know, to know when to shut up?
Take away their team's timeouts at the end of the game. That would hurt them pretty bad.
Do you think? That's a good idea. All right, 1 minute left in play tonight. We're going to do a golf question here for you. Tiger, VJ, Els, or Mike Weir? Who do you think's number one right now? You're a big golfer. What's the scoop? What do you think?
You can't take it away from Tiger. He's the man.
Even though he had that bad finish yesterday, Bay Hills?
Well, he's maybe not that hot right now, but last time he was told he was in a slump, he won 4 majors in a row. So I'm sure he'll kickstart here come the Masters.
Who do you think? Where does he fit
who
in?
do I like or who do I think? I mean, Tiger is definitely number one.
Well, he is.
But I mean,
where does Weir fit in?
you know, VJ's the grinder. He's going to probably win the money title again.
Okay,
but
we got to wrap up.
What? No, wrap up. I still want to go. What are you talking? We haven't even finished with Mark.
Welcome back next week on Sportsland on Eastlink Television. Mark, we enjoyed having you tonight. Thanks a lot. That was great. Thank you very much.
That was fun.
That's right. Next week?
Sure.
Who knows? Cecil's
we'll
back.
even bring Cecil back.
We'll bring him back. Welcome back next week, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock on Eastlink Television.
Brad, Cecil, Harv, 5 minutes for fighting. Let's go!
We'll promo that next week.
Tune in for Harv Sportsland again next week. Harv